Hi guys, this is Nikhil Miranda, and in today's video I'll be telling you about how to clean up your Dell Inspiron 15R5547. By doing so, you'll be able to increase the performance of your system, which will give your system an edge over the high-end games which are going to come up in 2016. So let's get going. In order to perform this operation, you will need the following things: your Dell Inspiron 15R5547 and a cushion wherein I'm using my gaming mouse mat and a screwdriver. So let's get started. So to start off, you will need your cushion. I'm using my own gaming mouse mat, which is here. Spread it on the table. Yeah, there it is. Now, yeah, we are ready. Now take your laptop, that is Dell Inspiron 15R5547. Turn it over and place it properly on the gaming mouse mat. As you see, you can see a screw over here and another one over here. Now you need to be careful about what you are going to do, because if you do anything wrong, you might lose the functionality of your computer. So moving ahead, now take your dual-ended screwdriver and now we need to make use of the star side. So taking the screwdriver, open the screw. Make sure that you don't lose any of the screws. Both the screws, using the flat end of the screwdriver, put it inside this groove and then push it inside. Now after pushing it aside, turn it sideways. You will see the bottom side of the laptop that it has come out of its joints. Now doing the same, and then just lift it up. The outer cover will come off. As you see, this is the outer cover, and now as it's off, we'll keep it aside. So this is your battery here, this is your ventilation fan, this is your 4 GB RAM, another 4 GB RAM, and this is your hard disk. So to start off with anything, you need to remove the battery first. Whatever you do, you need to remove the battery first. Make sure that you remove the battery first before you dismantle any other component. Okay, so see, for the battery, you have the screws over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first of all, you need to remove this screw. So let's remove this. So moving on to the next one. Moving on to this one. Well, you need to be very careful about not losing any of the screws. Well, the best part of this laptop is that all the screws are identical, so you can self-service it with ease. So this is our, okay, it's not removed properly. Now it is removed. Oh. Huh. Now you see this flap over here, you need to lift it up using this, and there goes your battery. So now you have removed your battery. Keep it aside for a moment. So as you see, we have kept it over there. Now moving on to the hard disk, which is over here. For the hard disk, the screws are over here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we'll be removing these screws too. I want to tell you again, don't miss any of the screws. Keep it carefully. Now moving on to the last screw of the hard disk, which is over here. Now you see this flap. Lift this up slowly. Yeah. You will see that your hard disk is attached to a cable. This is the SATA cable. Now you'll have to remove it in this way. So as you see, this is your hard disk. I removed all the screws. Now using your both hands, pull this off. Yeah. There goes your hard disk out. We'll keep it aside for the moment. And then we'll keep this one aside. Now you see, this is your RAM, your 4 GB RAM. Both of these are your RAM. There are two tiny hinge sort of structures over here. Push them off and that would lift your RAM above, and then gently pull it out. So this is your RAM, your 4 GB RAM. We'll keep this aside for the moment, and then do the same with the upper RAM and gently pull it out. This is your another 4 GB RAM. Now that you have removed both your RAM, you're left out with the Wi-Fi data card. Now that you have removed your RAM, this is your Wi-Fi antenna and this is your fan. So the main problem lies with the fan. I'll try to make it as close as possible. The main problem is usually with the fan. Now as you see, using the flat end of the screwdriver, there is this small black color latch which connects the motherboard to your other components like the SMPS and all. So gently slide it under the black latch and lift it up. You see this latch? the ones that's moving, gently lift it up and pull this bus outside. So doing so will disconnect your motherboard from all other components like power supply component and all. Now this is your fan. As you can see, a lot of dust has been accumulated on it. So we will remove the fan outside. To do so, there are two screws. One is over here and the other one is over here. So we'll start off from this screw, rotate it anti-clockwise, and there it is. It's out. Then we'll remove this one. And keep the screw aside. Now, after doing so, there is one very important step, and that is to detach the fan from the motherboard. As you see, there's this small instrument over here which powers up your fan. Yeah, this one. You need to put the flat end of your screwdriver into that small gap in between it. See the small gap? Put it in and just push it out from both the sides. And it is out. Now pull it back and remove your fan. As you can see, there is a lot of dust that has been accumulated on it, and this is the main reason why your system is not able to run the high-end games at a significant FPS. So keeping this aside, we'll have a look at our heatsink. Are you able to see this dust? See, this is the dust that is accumulated inside over 3 months. And this is not some ordinary dust. This is the dust which makes your system go handicap. So in order to remove this, we'll be needing a vacuum cleaner or a blower. So you might be having a vacuum cleaner or a blower at your house. It's the right time to use it. So you see, this is my vacuum cleaner. This is an Eureka 4 vacuum cleaner cum blower. So I'll be using this to blow the dust out of my PC. So let's get started. You can also use a dry cloth like this to remove the dust and wipe it from here. Doing this will speed up your system by a far more margin than you could have ever imagined. Now, placing it upside down and removing your mouse pad and placing it upside down. it's time to remove the keyboard. So this is your keyboard of Dell Inspiron 15R5547. As you see, there are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grooves. Placing it on this screw, lift it up. Placing it on this screw, lift it up. Placing it on this screw, lift it up. And then placing it on the last screw, lift it up. And then do the same thing with all the grooves. And eventually you will see your keyboard come out. Do the same thing on the sides and gently remove it, because there are 2 more buses on the rear side of the keyboard which are still connected. So in order to remove them, using the flat end of the screwdriver, remove this big black latch and detach this bus and keep it safely in the position that it's tending to go. And do the same with this small latch, opening the latch and removing it and keeping it at the safe place. And thus you have removed your keyboard. Laptop looks like this with a hole in the center. It's time to blow some air. You need to blow the air in these gaps too. In these gaps. The ones near the bezel and the screen. These ones. After you are done with the laptop, keep the keyboard on the laptop front cover and blow air on top of the keyboard, because it is one of the most dustiest places in the entire laptop. Now, after cleaning everything, it's time to put back the components of the laptop. Now, this is your keyboard. As it was like this, you need to topple it back in this way and reconnect these 2 buses the way they were before. So there will be this marking up written on both the buses, which will indicate that this will face upside, which is in this direction. So putting it back into its original location, we need to open the latch, slide it back in gently. I'll change the camera view. lifting up this latch and sliding it back in gently in this manner. When it can't move anymore, then press the latch back into its original shape. There it is. Now it is fixed. Now taking the other bus, lifting up the latch in this way and pressing it back the way it was in it. Now as both of these are locked, back the keyboard just by simply lifting it up in this way and pushing it. Like these are the some projections which you need to put it into the grooves which are in below, and as they are in, now push it back this way. Start pressing from this end. 1 2 3 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and just then press everything properly. Okay, now close the laptop and turn it over. But before turning it over, you need to remember that you have to keep the mouse pad back so that you don't damage the silvery shiny surface of the front side. So taking back our mouse pad, which is here, this is my gaming mouse pad. This is by Dragon War, and yeah, there we are. We are back. So while connecting everything back, you need to remember you have to go exactly in the opposite manner how we came in. The last component that we removed was the fan. Yeah, right, it was the fan. But wait, we haven't yet cleaned the fan, so we need to clean the fan first. So the fan is here. Okay, as you see, this is the fan. So in order to clean this is very dirty, so we would need an old toothbrush. In order to clean this is my old toothbrush. I'll brush everything from outside. So now it's time to blow air on the rakano agogutte cleaner. Now that our fan is cleaned, we will put it back inside the laptop. Putting back the fan. So lifting this up, lifting the bus up, placing the fan in its place. There we go. And yeah, screws are here. So we'll put the screws one by one. Taking another screw and putting it into its other hole. Now taking this connection and putting it back to in the way how it was, that is just by placing it in its proper place, which is this way, and pushing it inside, and there we go, it's all done. Then moving on towards the RAM. Putting the first RAM in this side, you need to see where the notch is. You will see this notch. The notch has to enter a particular place, like this way, and you press it thoroughly inside and then just push it back. There it is, it's fixed. Now moving on to the other RAM, finding the notch and pushing it back again. See, the RAM part is done. Now moving on to this bus, lifting the notch over here and pushing this bus properly inside, as long as it can't move any further, and then closing the latch. Now you see the the bus is fixed. Now moving on to the hard drive, which is over here. So taking back the hard drive, and we need to connect it back to its SATA port, which is on this side. Yeah. And there we go. Now fixing it back using the screws. Now we are done with the hard drive, and then we'll move on to the battery, where the battery is here. So for putting the battery back into its place, you have to hold it this way. First goes in these two parts. You fix it into its groove and then push the rest of the part inside. Press it properly and use the screws to join it back. Now check if you are connected everything properly and tightly. Okay, now putting back the rear cover. Putting back the rear cover. To do so, you'll have to place the bottom side first and then just keep pressing from the sides. Now that everything is fixed, we'll put back the screws. Over here. And over here. And we are done. Now it's time to turn on the laptop and check if it's working or not. So I won't be disconnecting the video. So there we press the power button and you can see the two lights blinking over here. And yeah, we are back in business. Oh, I'm running short of battery. Okay, so yeah, we can see everything is fine, I think. Yeah, now as you can see, we can everything is fine, and we'll just check out Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's see how it's working. You see the FPS is about 62 or 63, and it's not like I'll show you the settings, the graphics at which I'm playing it at. See, it's a DirectX 11 full screen 1366 by 768. That's the highest resolution that my monitor can support. 60 Hz refresh rate, and then FXAA is off, everything is off, and yeah, you see texture quality is high, shader quality is very high, and and shadow quality is normal, reflection quality is high, reflection MSAA is off, water quality is very high, particles quality is high, soft shadows are softest, post effects is normal, and isotropic filtering, tessellation and ambient occlusion is off. So we'll go to the open world. We'll switch to Franklin.
Now let's connect the stepper motor wire. Often this is the most confusing part of wireless.
So you can see
So let me just simplify it.
everything is working out to be fine, and I'm able to play Grand Theft Auto 5 at a relatively good FPS than how it used to be previously.
The wire is coiled A to pins 3 and 6, and the wire is coiled B to pins 13.
You see, even after falling so much, the FPS can still be 33 or 30 plus.
Then I'm connecting the wires to pin 6, now pin 3, now pin 11, and finally to pin 14. Now connect the input pin of the IC to the Arduino to pins number 9.